We probably don't get anywhere near enough support, I'll be honest. There are a lot of good people out there that will try, but we don't want it to be a charity. The positions are for people that can do a job and to do it well. And they usually do try even harder because it's obvious that keeping a job, especially in this climate, is hard for the best of us, let alone if we have a disability. And the big thing that I think we all seem to forget is that this hasn't been chosen. It's come to them as an accident, an injury or a health condition, or they've been born with it, and it can happen to any one of us at any time, and we would be looking for support from the community or from the government as well if it happened to us.
What's made you so passionate that's kept you here for 16 years in this business?
I have no idea. I am a believer in people's rights. If they are trying hard and they are doing the right thing and they can do the job, I don't believe in an employer giving them charity. That's not what we're after. We want them to give us a job that we think that they can do. So, you know, just because someone has a disability doesn't mean they can't be highly successful in their role. If it is just a little simple hand with us or the employer working with us, then that will help them through that time.
What do you offer the employer?
There is a financial benefit, but it's not a great deal, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to employ them for that because it's not enough to keep them on. You have to pay the wages. You know, you can ring us and we can tell you because it's individual. So someone that is going to need more support, you can get a financial benefit. Some that doesn't need very much support, well, then you won't get very much of a return. But obviously, any employer that's running a business will want the best person for the job. You know, a little bit of cash on the side doesn't really help. It's really just getting the job done. So
do you offer support services that may help them understand disability better?
Definitely. That's what the job coordinators are for. They're here to talk to staff, co-workers and the management. So even if it is talking to other staff that they're working with and helping them to understand what the benefits or what, you know, some of the disabilities may be and how to work around them, we're here to do that. And we can come out once, twice or 100 times. It doesn't matter until we've got that set up properly.
We're hearing this week from particularly the school leaver sector that the positions available have been significantly reduced through the downturn. How has that affected your strategies and your opportunities?
It has, the same as everybody else, because obviously if the jobs aren't out there, it's hard. But I think people are realising that the jobs that someone with a disability will go in to do, they will try a lot harder most of the time. And if they get the right job, they'll stay there for a long time. They're not someone that, you know, was on 100,000, now they're doing something worth 45,000, and the first chance they get, they're going to go back for that 100,000 job. Training is very expensive, and I know myself here that training someone up and then them leaving 6 months later is just a waste of time.
I understand many organisations like Ideal Placements have lost significant funding as well over the last 5 to 10 years from both federal and state governments. How difficult is it to secure funding at the moment, and where is it coming from? What are they supporting?
Unbelievably difficult. They've cut back, as everyone would have heard, in all areas, including us. We're tendering for things and not getting them. And so the funding's not there to support a lot of the programs, and a lot of people have lost their jobs, both government and government-funded organisations. I suppose when the new government comes in, or if a new government comes in, they might make new decisions and it could all change again, but getting set up, we have no idea. With the NDIS coming along, there'll be a lot of changes, and we have to prepare for that as well because there's no money until it does come in. We're not in the trial sites. We do run a few programs. We're one of the few disability employment services that run Your Life, Your Choice, which is a program that will support people in other areas other than just employment.
I noticed you've taken an initiative next month to also promote a new round of funding and opportunities for unemployed people through the Mackay Chamber of Commerce. Why did you choose to take that avenue?
There's a group of people that are not eligible for services, employment services, not through job services or through disability employment services. And so they're out there in the community, but they do not receive funding, like they don't receive Centrelink funding or referrals to any of these services. So we are going to run a program that we have been funded for, and it will be for people with disabilities, youth, Indigenous and migrants. For instance, a new Australian that is not eligible for services will come along, and we're going to tailor-make this for people's needs. We will do the smaller groups and individuals. So if it's a migrant and it's a Thai person, we'll have translators and support workers come in to be able to do that. So then we will be training them in job readiness, and then we will be looking at the open employment market for placement in those positions for some work sampling. The training that we'll have is business, community services, construction, food processing and hospitality.
Well, the 5th of March is going to be quite a big day for you, because you kick off with an open information day at the Good and White Library, and then later you're hoping to encourage businesses to come along to the Mackay Chamber of Commerce event. Who are you hoping will show some interest that you haven't worked with before?
At the information session, obviously we would love people to come along that are looking for employment or would like some support, and they cannot be receiving Centrelink payments or have funding that is supporting them from the government. This is just unfunded. So this will be running over months, but we will start the first one a few weeks after the 5th of March. Then in the evening, I thought, well, why not keep going? So we had the chance to have that focusing on business. So we'll have their attention for a couple of hours, and hopefully we'll be able to discuss how that works and encourage some of the business